YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. Thought I'd make this live feed real quick. Well, it's not gonna be quick, but I'm making it live. Alex Express, what's going on? Yeah, there we go. Whole bunch of people coming in at one time. What's going on? What's going on? Got poor connection. Poor connection. What's going on? Hammer down. What's going on? Eugene. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I was making this. I had some on my mind, and I'm thinking like, I thought I'd make a video about it. I'm thinking like, okay. I've been talking to a lot of guys about, different companies and, Snyder, and I've been giving my opinions on Snyder, and, to tell you the truth, I can't believe I left, Hey, Trevona, what's going on? JP. Swift letting lease ops take their trucks out like Snyder. Yeah, pretty much all these companies you can take the truck. You just gotta have the money. Some companies will charge you. Some companies are called a lease due when you take the truck. There's companies out there that let you take the truck. That's Swift. Like, if you can take a Swift truck, that's not a bad idea, because if Swift let you take that truck, because I was looking at a Swift lease a long time ago, and Swift, their truck payments are not that high. It's not that bad, because, let me see, Swift, Alex Express, how much is that, the lease at Swift? I think it's like $500 a week. That's not bad. It's a 10-year lease. It's like a 7, 8, 9-year lease, but it's just $500 a week. So stop taking my Florida loads. Man, when I go on that load board, man, I go on that load board. Pretty much all the loads that's coming out of Georgia go down to Florida. So I have no choice. I have no choice, I have choices, but it's just like, it's you got to learn how to, you guys got to learn how to work this trucking game out here. Yeah, $623 a week. That's not bad. I've talked to guys who leasing trucks from these big carriers, $400-500 a week. KLM, they charge, I think it's like $550 a week. So that's not bad. 144K. That's high. That's high, man. 2017 Kenworth, with 240,000 miles on it. That's still kind of high. It is a Kenworth. Kenworths are more expensive. Peterbilts and Kenworths are more expensive trucks, but anyway, I've been talking to guys, about my opinions about Snyder and stuff like that, and Travel Local, and I've been giving a lot of my opinions about, Snyder. I just wanted to throw it out there is that, I probably said this 1,000 times, like, don't get me wrong, Snyder is a good program. It's a good program. It's a good program. But, you know, like I try to talk to guys and try to explain to them that, you know, Snyder is good, but it's not a long-term, like going over to Snyder, it's not a long-term situation. Like, if you're going to go over to Snyder, have a plan to get out of there under 2 years. 3 years max. I mean, I say 3 years because I know guys going to do what they want to do, but that's fine. But, you know, like, you know, like if I was, you know, a guy, you know, that's new to trucking or something like that, I would go over to Snyder and I'll run that program for about a year or two and get out of there. Because, you know, like, Snyder is a stepping stone. Like, Snyder is for guys who, like, company drivers and who want to get a truck and trailer, but it's that middle ground to, like, prepare you to get your own truck and trailer. Like, so, you know, I don't want to misunderstand guys, because, you know, I've been talking to a lot of guys that's still at Snyder. And, you know, they've been blowing up my phone. Damn, poor connection. Like, they've been blowing up my phone telling me, like, hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with Snyder. Blah, 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 blah. Now, granted, a lot of these people who've been telling me that there's nothing wrong with Snyder, these are people who hadn't even been there a long time yet. Like, my opinion stands when it comes to Snyder. Snyder isn't a bad program, you know, but I don't recommend staying there for a long period of time. It's just like, okay, a lot of guys who disagree with me, they only been there for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. You haven't been through nothing, okay? So you haven't been through a situation where you had to buy some tires. You haven't been through having to take your truck to the shop. You haven't been through situations where you had a hard braking event. You haven't had a situation where you got into an accident at Snyder. You haven't been in that situation yet. You haven't had no kind of conflict with your ICA. So my opinion is based on 2 solid years at Snyder, you know. So I'm sure there are guys who've been at Snyder, you know, 10, 15, 20 years. But, okay, I've been there for 2 years. I think I've been through a lot of crap at Snyder to get my full-on opinion on about it. So, you know, I've been talking to guys. They like, oh, it ain't nothing wrong with Snyder. It's nothing wrong with Snyder, but just understand, you know, how they treat you at Snyder. You know, you just a company driver. How they treat you. They might call you a business owner. They may call you all this bullshit all day long, but at the end of the day, Snyder's got the control. So, like, for example, I've talked about this before. Like, for example, when you book a load at Snyder, right? You book a load at Snyder, and you have a problem at a customer. There's an issue with the load, right? For example, I'm trying to think of a situation. I'm trying to compare it to Traveloco. Now, when we're talking about Traveloco is no more than just I don't want to say a broker. I don't want to call them a broker because they really don't give me freight like that. I go on the load boards and I get the freight myself. But I'm trying to think of a situation where, okay, because guys, like, you know, because, like, okay, for example, if I book a load, right, and there's a problem at a customer, now I can go in here, I can cuss out the customer if I want to, right? Now, Traveloco probably wouldn't give 2 shits about that. I might get chewed out by the broker, but Traveloco probably wouldn't care. Now at Snyder, if I go to a customer and I have a problem at a customer and they be like, oh, get off my property, or da-da-da-da-da, or we get into a back and forth, or we get into an altercation, I start cussing at the customer. That word gets back to Snyder, they're going to pull your contract. Now, there's a difference between like you being fully independent contractor and when you leased onto a big mega carrier like Snyder. Like, they're going to treat you like a damn employee. In every way you can think of, they're going to treat you like an employee. So when your ICA tells you, oh, you know, they give you 20 questions. Oh, why did you do that? Why were you, you know, and you as a grown man got to sit there and listen to that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, since I've been over to Traveloka, man, I can tell you, I've done a whole lot of stuff and nobody knows nothing about it because, for one, I don't have no truck number on my truck. Two, there's no way of tracking the situation. And three, Traveloka don't care. This is my truck. You know what I mean? So, and see, like, I try to explain to guys, like, okay, for example, you know, like guys who leasing the truck, right? And like, it's crazy because I talk to guys, you know, and they say nothing is wrong with the program, and it's not perfect, but this is just my opinion. So it's just like, okay, you go down to, say you need to get some tires, okay? Say you need to get some tires, all right? Okay, you know what kind of tires that you want, okay? You don't want no cap tires on your truck. You got money in your account to pay cash for these tires. You know, the tires about $3,000, and you got $3,000 in your maintenance account. I'll be damned if you want to get some new tires on your truck. You should be able to go get them. No, you got to get it approved. It's got to go through your ICA. They got to tell you, you got to go through your ICA and Snyder Finance so that they can approve that PO so they can get them tires on that truck. Now it may sound simple, but in my experience, it wasn't simple. Okay, it wasn't simple at all. You know, I needed to get some tires. When I needed to get some tires, I must have been on the phone for at least 4 hours. Now, when I say I was on the phone for 4 hours, I wasn't on the phone for 4 hours straight. It's just that between all the back and forth, it was about 4 hours before they put them tires on that truck. Because I came in there and I told them, hey, man, I need to get some steer tires on my truck, blah, 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 blah. They was like, okay, yeah, that's a Snyder truck, so we got to get approval to put them tires on that truck. So they got to call Snyder, okay? Then they got to get the approval. And then, okay, before they even go to the next step, I got to call Snyder Finance, and then Snyder Finance got to call the shop that's doing the work so they can cut the PO, and then Snyder Finance wants you to take a picture of the tires, okay? And then you got to get a depth gauge. So that back and forth, you looking at, okay, you on the phone for at least 10, 20 minutes a piece, okay? Because, okay, you pick up the phone, right? And you go through the process, and they be like, okay, we need this approval, da-da-da-da. So the shop, truck blocking the sunlight. Yeah, so the shop has to call Snyder Finance to get the approval. So between each step, you're looking 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, all this back and forth on the phone, back and forth, getting approvals and waiting for somebody to sign a piece of paper and getting the okay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's like, you know, man, like who wants to go through all that? When at the end of the day, this is supposed to be your truck, right? Your money, right? Now, what feels so good is just that, that's just one situation. I can deal with that. That's just one situation. But when the stuff start piling up, it's like, man, you know what? Y'all can have this. Y'all can have that maintenance account. You can have that stupid load board. You can have all that shit. Okay? I've been on the load board 2 years. The way that I feel, and that's my opinion, that's the way that I feel. Like a lot of guys, they've been on the board for 2 months, 6 months. Everything has been fine. They haven't had to go through any problems. You haven't had any deers. You haven't hit any deers. You haven't had any heartbreaking events. You haven't had any customers call in on you. You haven't had four-wheelers and cars call in on you. You haven't had, I mean, I can go on and on and on. You know what I mean? Like, some people's Snyder experience, peachy perfect. Peachy perfect. They didn't have no problems. But with me, just about every couple months is always something. It's always something. And, you know, it's hard being a grown man sitting up there listening to another grown man telling you how to run your truck when they never. Bad connection. Medication. Yeah, so hold on, I'm gonna answer these questions in a minute. So and here's an example. All right. At this point in my maintenance account, I have about, you know, I got like 4 or 5 different accounts for my business. Okay. Shoot. I got 4 or 5 checking accounts for my business. Each one has a purpose. Okay. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm making a point here. Last time I checked, I have about $6,000-$7,000 in my maintenance account. An account that I have earmarked for maintenance. Okay. It's just a checking account with money. That's what an escrow account is. It's just an account. It's nothing special about it. Some escrow accounts pay interest and whatever, but I mean, the interest that you make on like $4,000 that's sitting in there is like $2-3. It ain't a bunch of money. I mean, you can put that money in a mutual fund, and then when you have a catastrophic business issue, you can go ahead and sell some of those stocks, sell some of those funds, and pay for your situation. It takes a day or two for stocks to sell when you need to sell positions in a stock in a brokerage or whatever. You got a brokerage account, Charles Schwab, T. Rowe Price, and if you need to sell off, 100 shares that's worth about 4,000 or 5,000, you can sell those 100 shares to pay for some tires or something. You would do way better than an escrow account. I'm just saying. But the point is, okay, I got about $6,000-$7,000 in my maintenance account, right? About two months ago, I had a tire. I caught a bolt. I caught a big old bolt in the tire. I just went over to Goodyear. The tire was flat. I went up to Goodyear. They seen that I had a Snyder finance truck. They was like, oh no, we got to call Snyder. So I told them, I was like, no, don't waste your time. I don't have a maintenance account. So that's, it's my responsibility. So once we went through the back and forth, and it was like 5-10 minutes, okay, not even. He went through the prices of the tires, and I pretty much, settled on the tire that I wanted. He was trying to sell me a recap tire. I was like, nope, I don't want no recap tires. I mean, recap tires is just a waste of time. You put them tires on there, you be driving down the road, and then 2 days later, the tire will bust and tear stuff up under your truck. Don't waste your time with no recap tires. But anyway, when I settled and made up my mind on which tire I wanted to get, it ain't took them but 20 minutes to put that tire on and pay for it. I paid for the tire. They put the new tire on. It ain't taking but 20 minutes. Now let that be like, you know, with a maintenance account and all this BS and back and forth. And because they want to come in there, because with Snyder, they have the protocol. Snyder Finance, they have a protocol, right? So they have the shop come and measure the depth on the tire and all this. They gotta finesse the tire and all this extra stuff. So it's like 1,000 steps they gotta do before they even do any work. You looking at 3-4. Not everybody's situation is gonna be 3-4 hours, but the idea is that you gotta get approval to spend your own goddamn money. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. Now that's just one situation. Now say I done bumped into a bunch of guys who had their lease terminated for four-wheelers calling in on you. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. That's BS. Like you sitting up here driving down the road, minding your business, doing your job, just driving down the road, not on the phone, not doing nothing. You just driving down the road. Anybody, any given time, can call your company and say, hey, man, this truck driver cut me off. Oh, this truck driver did that in the third. This guy did this in the third. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it don't even have to be a four-wheeler. It could be another driver, okay? A customer, whatever. They can call in on you, and you can't say nothing. See, like with Snyder, they don't ask no questions, okay? They don't ask no questions. So if a customer call in on you, or a four-wheeler call in on you, another driver call in on you, they take their word first. Now, they may ask you a few questions, but better believe you're going to have to talk to your IC about it, and you're going to have to sit there and act like a little child, not a business person, but a little child, and sit there and be like, and then they're going to ask you 20 questions. Why did you do that? Why were you over there? What were you doing? You shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, man, if you don't get out of my ear with that noise, you're not running no business. You're just an employee. You're a child, okay? So, like my situation I told y'all when I hit a deer, okay? I hit a deer. Now, knowing Snyder, I avoided the whole situation. I went ahead and got my bumper fixed myself, and I paid out of pocket because I didn't want to deal with the bullshit, okay? I didn't want to deal with it. So, I hit a deer, and we all know, you know, a lot of you guys, you probably have incidents or whatever. If you leased on a Snyder, you call them up. Anything, a windshield chipped, you ripped off a trailer door, or anything. You got a busted tire, anything, okay? They're going to ask you 20,000 questions. What were you doing? How fast were you going? Was you on the phone? Did you have your seatbelt on? Did you have your lights on? Was it raining? Did you get a police report? All these crazy questions. It ain't none of your business. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is some of their business. It is some of their business. It is some of their business because you leased onto them and you're pulling their trailers and their DOT numbers. But the point is, it's just like, man, I mean, it just keep piling up all the bullshit. I've been there for 2 years. I don't know how guys do that junk for 10, 15 years. I don't know how they do it. So, I mean, when you bring in your own equipment, I don't know how guys do it. Now, as a company driver, I understand that. I don't mind being micromanaged because you're an employee and that's what it is. But man, all these damn parking spots and this guy coming over here. Make sure my webcam working. All right. This guy hit my truck. I know something. All these parking spots out here. You coming to get this one. Truck driver something else, boy. Y'all truck drivers something else. Y'all just like to make stuff hard on purpose. But okay. Okay, y'all gotta excuse me. I'm watching this guy. He must have pulled up about 15 times already. Man, back this trail in that hole and stop playing, man. But what I was talking about. But anyway, like I'm saying, okay, I hit a deer. It's dark, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm running through the backwards. I'm running through the back roads, riding along, do 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 do, and the deer just come running out the road. Bam! Hit the deer. Man, you did this on yourself, man. All these parking spots out here. But all these parking spots out here. I mean, I don't know. It's 9 o'clock at night. This customer's very slow. I mean, it's probably like 4 drivers out here. And you gotta get this spot. But I hit a deer. Okay? Now, when you hit a deer, hitting a deer is you can't control it. Like the deer is, it's stuff that's out of your control. You can't control if you're gonna hit a deer. So see, here's the deal. I hit the deer, right? And I got a hard braking event. It's just, and you Snyder guys, y'all know what that means. There's no way getting out of that. You're going to have to call your ICA, man. So, I got a hard braking event, and I hit a deer. Because, when you hit the deer, you mash on your brakes. I hit the deer. So, that is crazy. It's crazy, man. So, I hit the deer. All right, I got out and I looked at it. I was like, okay. I mean, the damage wasn't that bad. Okay. So, I finished my week out and I didn't get around to fixing that bumper until like maybe the next week or whatever. And I went by the shop and I was going to have Snyder replace the bumper. So, I went in there. I talked to the shop. I was like, hey, I got a bumper here that's hanging off the truck. How much would it cost to fix this bumper? He was like, yeah, it's going to be about $400. It's going to be about $400, right? So I was like, okay, cool. Just take the money out of my settlement. He was like, no, we can't do that. You're going to have to call your ICA and, so they can approve us to take the money out of your settlement. I was like, damn. And I'm trying to avoid having to talk to my ICA about this whole situation. I'm trying to duck and dodge, and so I don't have to deal with all that insurance and, because it's like, you say you hit a deer, you're going to have to go through all this BS. How fast were you going? Did you get the proper sleep? Man, get out of here, man. Damn. But, so, once I, start digging around, I called a couple Freightliner dealers. I just end up paying for that bumper piece out of pocket. And I put the bumper on myself. And I made a couple videos about it. It's on here. If y'all want to see it, you can go back through it. But out of pocket, I think it was about $290, $280 something. There's like a section of it that's like $100, and then there's like a cover that goes on it. It was about $150, $180 or something like that. All together out the door is about $280 something. So I put the new bumper on myself. And it's just an FYI, man. And then, like, okay, there are other situations, like, for example, like I said before, I talked to guys who got their lease terminated for 4-wheelers calling in on them. Okay. I had a guy, check this out. I was putting fuel in my truck. A guy called in on me. I forgot what I was doing. A guy called in on me. What the hell he called in on me? He called in on me for taking a 30-minute break in the fuel island. Guys have nothing else to do with their time. Guys have nothing to do with their time, man. I kid you not. I got an email. I got a call. I got an email from the ICA saying, hey, give us a call. Urgent. It's a big deal. Call in right now. So I called in. It was maybe a week later. Okay. I called in. I'm thinking something big, something serious. A four-wheeler called in on me or something. I got on that phone. They said, yeah, man, we got a call saying that you was taking a 30-minute break in the fuel island. And I was like, it's a week later. I mean, look, you're not supposed to take 30-minute breaks in the fuel islands. I get it. Common courtesy. Yeah. But should you call your company on somebody? Really? Really? You know what I mean? It's just come on, man. Really? And I don't even know how to answer that question. It's I'm sitting up there, I'm like, okay, yeah, I did do it, but I told my ICA, I told him, I was like, hey, man, I know you got better things to do, more important things to do. I know you got maybe, more important things to do to sit on this phone with me and talk about, getting called in because I'm taking a 30-minute break in the fuel island. But, I mean, I told him, I was like, I'll listen, I'll be quiet, but, this is stupid. You know what I mean? It's just come on, man. And the thing is when you pull in a big orange trailer, it's just a target because people know who Snyder is. And, when you pull in a big orange trailer, it's a target. So for any given reason, somebody will do something to you because either they're ex-Snyder driver or something in their past, or they're scared of orange trailers, or the orange trailer boogeyman gonna get them. I don't know, but it's just guys, it's just crazy. People just, I experienced the same thing when I was at JB Hunt. And I can imagine being a Swift driver. Any of you guys who Swift drivers or ex-Swift drivers, you probably know what I'm talking about. Because Swift guys, they get a lot of heat, man. They get a lot of heat. Somebody always cracking on Swift. And it just, like I say, I've been over there for 2 years and stuff just start messing with you. Stuff just start piling up. And then you get to a point, you know what? I've had it. I've had it. I've just had it. I just had to leave, man. I just, pulling that orange trailer, man, it's just something happens to people when you pull in an orange trailer. It's crazy. It's just crazy, man, pulling an orange trailer. But yeah, man, I mean, I can go on and on and on about all the things that I experienced when I was at Snyder. For some people, it's going to be peachy perfect. Nothing never happens to them. But from my experience, man, get away from these big mega carriers, man. Get away from it. My opinion, man, Snyder has no business leasing on contractors and calling them independent. They're not independent, okay? You're not independent at all, okay? You can't do what you want to do. You don't be calling people independent when you're not, okay? It's not your truck. You know what I mean? Oh, babe. I'll call you right back. But, shoot. Truck stops are funny. What kind of truck did you get? What kind of truck did I get? Snyder getting on my nerve with playing with the board. Yeah, they be playing with the board, man. And that's another thing. Like, they be playing magic tricks with the board, man. They just be playing magic tricks. You know? Random drug tests. I mean, you know, being in trucking, I expect to get randoms, but, you know, that random drug tests don't really bother me. But it's just like how Snyder handles their drug test situation. Like, I had any of you guys who run down here in the South, it's a lady. Now, Courtney used to be cool, but she quit. Or she got fired probably. Courtney was the coolest ICA rep. Damn. Like, since I've been driving the truck, I can probably name on one hand that people I will remember 20 years from now, if I'm still in trucking. And Courtney is one of them. She is a cool girl, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but she's gone now. Now it's this another lady that's still there. Her name is Dawn. And if any of you guys run down in the Southeast, you probably dispatched. You probably run out of Charlotte. And it's a lady that's named Dawn. She is a bitch. I'm just going to tell you. She's a bitch. Okay? So, she is just a bitch, man. Like, you can't be right with her. Everything is wrong with her. You can't. Woo, she's a bitch. But anyway, y'all can call up there and tell her I said she's a bitch. And I told her to her damn face, you are a bitch. She is a bitch, man. Like, she need to just chill out. She need to just chill out. It ain't that serious. Because, woo, man. Dawn, any of you guys that run in the South, that run out of Charlotte, you know what I'm talking about. Dawn, she's a bitch. But, that girl there, woo, man. So, like, she called me up to do a random, right? She called me up to do a random. And I don't have no problem doing random. You know, like, I'm a professional. I don't do drugs, man. Like, I don't drink. That's, really? I'm going to mess up my money, right? That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I do see guys carrying a beer in their truck, but that ain't me. Like, no. But, so here's the thing. She called me up to do a random. She got on my phone. She was like, now, mind you, I drive at night. Okay, I drive at night. So, I'm still on my 10-hour break. So, she calls me to do a random. And she's like, hey, I need you to do this random. You got an hour to get there. Hurry up. Get over there right now. I was like, whoa. I'm still on my 10-hour break. I can't move the truck. She's like, what do you mean you can't move the truck? You got an hour to get over there. I was like, chill out. Chill out, woman. Chill out. I'm on my 10-hour break. I run at night. I can't move the truck. And like, so we had a little back and forth. I mean, that's not the only time. I mean, ever since I started at Snyder, Dawn, she is a bitch. You call up there about anything, it's always no. You know what I mean? You can't work with her. You can't compromise with somebody like that. It's always no. And it's just like, what are you talking about? No. Put Courtney on the phone. Put Courtney on the phone. I don't want to deal with you. Like, it's just like, because the thing is, you have to call up there to get what you need. Just some things you got to call up there. Like if you looking for an empty or something, or you need a pickup number at a customer or something like that. Like I call her and I just hate when she pick up the phone. Like I pick up the phone and like I be like, and and it was like, oh, this is Dawn. I was like, oh my God. I just hang up the phone because I don't want to deal with her. So, but sometimes you have to deal with her. She's the only one in the office. So I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm at this customer. I need a pickup number. She was like, what do you mean? Isn't it in the Qualcomm? Didn't you look in the Qualcomm? Yes, I did look in the Qualcomm. The number ain't there. Can you double check what's in your computer to make sure I got the... She's a bitch, man. She's a bitch. But like anytime, man, like that woman there, I don't know what it is. Maybe she need a man. She needs some sex. I don't know what it is, man. Boy. 2018 Freightliner. 1040 a week. God damn. 2018 Freightliner, 1040 a week. I hope you got that on a 1-year lease, man. Damn. 1040 a week. And I know Snyder, I know you know them rates ain't that good. My note, I feel like my note is high. Like my first truck that I had, that black truck that I had, my note was 885 a week. That included that included the maintenance and everything. Like the base note was 800, and then they charged like $80 some for maintenance. Like, man. But I did all right. You know, I did anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a week. But you had to run, man. Fuck. Depends on the weight, like 7. Damn. 1040 a week. Shit. 1040 a week. Truck note is high. Get a used. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You can go to Malone Mountain and get you a good used truck, man. Malone Mountain's got good trucks, man. 200 to 300,000 miles on them trucks. Then they come with a 6-month warranty, man. You be paying $1,500 a month, man. Damn. Like, I don't recommend getting a note no higher than 800 a week. 800 a week is high, but anything more than 800 a week, like, because you can do better. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, if you was to go to a dealer and finance a truck on your own credit, you'd be looking at $2,500 to $2,600, $2,700 a month for a new truck. So I try to compare it to that. So my note is $700 a week. So as long as I'm within that range, I don't feel too bad about it, because if I was to finance this truck at a dealer brand new, I would probably be paying about the same. But you talking about $4,100, $4,200 a month just on the goddamn truck. God damn. Shit. My experience has been crazy with Snyder. Like, the freedom, $1,000 a week is scary. Yeah, hold on, Lord.
Hello, this is Jonathan Hicks. Yes, how you doing? This is Jonathan Hicks. Okay, I've been there a minute.
Oh, all right, y'all. Sorry about that. Memphis, Tennessee paid $2,200 to Ardmore, Oklahoma. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. But the thing is, like with Snyder, you're not gonna get. The thing is with Snyder, is like you looking for consistency, and like with Snyder, they got this thing called cost averaging. And see, like with Snyder, it's very fucking hard to be consistent on the board. So like when you running the board, like you're gonna find this banging ass load, but then that load always leads you to a dead area, or area where it's hard to get freight. You know what I mean? Like with Oklahoma is a dead area when it comes to freight on Snyder's board. So like that 2,200, right? Memphis is a good area for freight, but you going from Memphis to Oklahoma, which is a dead area for freight, depending on the direction that you're going. Now, if you're going from Memphis to Oklahoma, but then if you go even further west, is fine because the rates, when you get to Oklahoma, that Dallas I-55, I-35 corridor, that I-35, I-55 corridor, everything that goes west pays good. And then everything that goes east don't pay nothing. I mean, it pays, but it don't pay what you think it should. So it's just like, okay, yeah, it's going to pay $2,200. That's a good rate. But then it's going to lead you to an area that ain't paying shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, it's like you got to know your cost of operation. You got to know your cost per mile, because it's like, okay, if you don't know that, you don't know what's going on. So with Snyder, I'm just going to tell you, you're not going to do no more than $1.50 a mile, $1.40 a mile. That's what you're going to average. So if you're on the board and you see loads paying $1.40, $1.50 a mile, then you know you're good because you're keeping up with the rates. You know what I mean? You're keeping up with the average rate. So it's just like, no matter where you go on that board, it's all rigged to keep you at $1.50 a mile. So you're going to run a load. You're going to run a load for $2 a mile going here, but then you're going to get a load paying $1 a mile coming out. And then you're going to run a load here that's paying $2 a mile. Then you're going to go over here and the load paying $1 to come out. So, and once you don't average all that running, you don't average $1.40, $1.50 a mile. Now, there's an exception. There's an exception. When you start to do short loads, then you can start to see just a little bit more money, but you're doing more work for the money. So it's kind of like, see, because it's like I bump into guys. See, like out here on the public load boards, you got a little bit more control over the rate because you can negotiate. And then on top of that, you can kind of take advantage of spot market. And like with Snyder, you have no clue what that is. You just have no, you don't know because you can't look at the market itself and tell you what's going on with the freight and whatnot. With Snyder, that's an internal situation. So like say Snyder loses a customer, okay, that could just affect Snyder's rates. It won't affect all of freight across the country. See, like out here, the weather can change rates, you know, or the president, or all kind of issues can change the public freight boards. But when you're dealing with Snyder, it's like they got their own little game that they play with the loads, and it's like you trying to find consistency, and it's hard to do that on their board just because they got cost averaging. And once you figure out, okay, what's the average rate per mile that Snyder's gonna let you get, yeah, you might gonna run this load here $2.50 a mile, but then once you run this load here $2.50 a mile, that load here is $1.40, and then once you done type, like I keep a spreadsheet on my truck, okay, I done ran a lot of loads out here, and once you boil down to it, you're gonna be running about $1.30, $1.40 a mile. That's about all Snyder gonna let you get, you know. So I mean, a lot of guys don't believe me, but I got a spreadsheet on my truck, so I know what shit is. I know what the rates are. I know what it is. So it's you know, and like, you know, Memphis to Oklahoma, I know what that is, man. Like, I see, when I was at Snyder, I used to see loads all the time going out to Snyder. I used to see loads going all the time going out to Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri and stuff like that. They pay very well, but it don't be shit coming out. Because Snyder, they don't want you running I-10. They don't want you running I-20. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to run I-40 and back. Okay? They want to make it hard for you. They don't want you to make money. They don't want you to do that. They want the shit to be hard as fuck. That's what it is. And it's just like I can run Atlanta to Jersey and back doing this and do good. At Snyder, you just not gonna do it. You're not gonna run from Atlanta to Jersey because the rates from Atlanta to Jersey on Snyder's board, they don't pay nothing. Okay? They just don't pay nothing. I can run $2 a mile going up, $2 a mile coming back from Jersey to Atlanta on the public boards. Okay? But at Snyder, You're going to run a load $2 out, and then you might find a load paying $1.90, a dollar a mile coming back south. It's just a pain. It's annoying, very annoying, very annoying, because you're working so hard, Like loads coming out of Virginia, coming back to Atlanta, they never pay nothing. $1 a mile, $1.10 a mile, 89 cents a mile and shit to come south, okay? I used to run a load that comes out of, it's a Goodyear tire load that used to come out of, it's right there on the North Carolina, Virginia line. There's a shipper they manufacture, I think tires or something. It comes down to McDonough, Georgia. I used to hate running that load, but it's my load home. So I try to fix my loads. I run a load here, and probably like Thursday or Friday, I'll be up in that area, and I like to run that load because it'll be a load bringing me home. The load, the load always pays like $600, $500. This is $1 a mile, man. But that's just what it is, man. Oh, the Snyder carrier board. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the Snyder carrier board, and it's all right. It's to get access to the Snyder carrier board, you got to have your own DOT number, or at least onto a carrier that allows you to book your own loads. So I'm not talking about Snyder book your own loads, but I mean, like, you got to be leased onto a carrier that allows you to talk to brokers. You know what I mean? And allow you to get the rate cons. That's like a Traveloka or a Landstar or a Roadrunner or something like that. Those carriers allow you to talk to brokers. So, like, I can sign up with any load board out here, and I put in Traveloka's DOT number. They send Eddie an email, and then they approve me. So it takes a couple days, and once Eddie gets the email, and then I'll get access to the board. So that's how it works. But Snyder, with Snyder, you can't get Snyder's DOT number and sign up for the DAC board. They just won't let you do it because Snyder has to approve you to get on the DAC board. So you just can't do it because you just don't have that authority to do that. Yeah, canceling loads. I mean, loads canceled. Since I've been over here to Traveloka, I think I've had 2 loads that cancel. But when loads do cancel, I get a really good reason why they cancel. Like with Snyder, they give you a bullshit reason saying, oh, the customer load canceled. No, they don't. They don't cancel those loads. Okay. You talking about a big Fortune 500 you talking about a big Fortune 500 carrier. Okay. They got thousands of loads. Okay. Like with Snyder and JB Hunt, they got, at any given day, you're looking at hundreds of loads they're pulling for a customer. Okay. Those loads don't cancel, man. Those loads are booked weeks in advance, way weeks in advance. Those loads don't cancel. Okay. What happens is, if they have a company driver in a certain area that need a load, they will take that load away from you and give it to their company driver. That's what they're doing. They're not supposed to do that, but that's what they're doing. Okay. That's what they're doing. Okay. Because if they got 4 or 5 company drivers that need a load, and then they got a contractor over here that can book his own loads, well, they're going to take that load away from you, give it to their company driver, and then it's going to force you as a contractor to go get another load. Now, over here, when loads cancel, I get a damn good reason, and it makes sense. For example, I booked a load that went up to Massachusetts that paid, I think I negotiated about $2,200 on that load. Maybe it was $2,300, $2,400, something like that. I booked the load. I got the rate con. I sent it over. to Traveloka. I got the rate card. Got the Raycon back, had it all signed and everything. Headed on to the customer. Got to the customer. I was just about to back into the dock. Travel Loco called me. They was like, hey, don't pick that load up. We had to cancel the load because this particular broker does not pay their bills. They don't pay their bills. So Travel Loco is still waiting on a bill. They haven't paid Travel Loco for a load a while back. So Travel Loco didn't want to pull the load because they still got a balance due on some loads. So that's a damn good reason to cancel a load. Okay. Another time that a load was canceled at Travel Loco, I forgot what happened. I think it's similar to this situation. Damn, what happened? I booked the load and what the hell happened? Yeah. One time a broker double booked the load. So, they had to cancel the load. So, I mean, since I've been over here, I only had maybe 2, maybe 3 loads canceled, but they were damn good reasons. It's not like at Snyder, you show up to a customer and then the load canceled and you have no idea reason why. Oh yeah, the load canceled. No, it didn't. They don't cancel loads. You talking about a big carrier, man. They got thousands of loads, man. Those loads don't cancel. Loads of pallets don't cancel. Okay, like you go to a Family Dollar, or you go to a Frito-Lay or something like that. Those loads are booked 2-3 months in advance, man. Like they don't cancel, man. Like those loads don't cancel like that. Like that, it just don't make sense. They're giving those loads to their company drivers. Okay, they're taking those loads away from you, giving it to their company drivers. That's what happened. Cause like the trailer is loaded on the customer's property. The load don't cancel. The load is right there. They just took the load away from you and gave it to somebody else. Yep, I believe you. Dwayne, yep, I believe you, man. I see loads like that all the time on the public load boards. And see, like that kind of stuff right there will piss you off, man. Because that same load, Bentonville, Arkansas to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, I know who that is. That's that place right there off of I think it's off of I-55. There's a merchandise liquidator. They buy like returns and stuff from companies. I used to run a load from Target from South Carolina to Hattiesburg all the time. I used to run that load. There's another load I used to run. I forgot the name of it. See that load right there? That load would pay about $900 on Snyder's board. That load would pay about $900 on Snyder's board. But they're paying $2,600 on the carrier board. I see load like that all the time, man. All the time. And see, this load here is going from Arkansas to Hattiesburg. See, that load is going east on Snyder's board. Those loads that go east, they don't pay that good, man. You're looking at about a good dollar. You're looking at a good $1.40 a mile on Snyder's board. Good $1.40, $1.50 or something like that. The fuel discount at Snyder, it changes. It changes weekly. You're looking at a good, it changes anywhere from 15 cents. I've seen that discount as high as 40 cents a gallon. But I would say it averages about $1. It averages about 20 cents per gallon off And that's just at Pilots. So, I mean, tell you the truth, man, you can go and shop. You can go shop. You can shop online and find better prices at little mom and pop truck stops and still beat that 20 cent that they give you. You know, you can still beat it by another 20 cent. So, you know, say if the fuel is $2.70 a gallon, right? The fuel is $2.70 in a gallon. If you buy it through Snyder at Pilot, you can get the fuel for, you know, $2.50, right? I mean, you got to factor in IFTA and all that, but we're not talking about IFTA. Now, if you shop around at a mom and pop stop, you could probably find that fuel even cheaper than that. Maybe like $2.30 a gallon or something like that. $0.02 a mile at Crete. Yeah, but see, like companies like Crete and like Swift and stuff, you're paid at a flat rate per mile. So, like I be telling y'all, it's all a numbers game, man. Like if you compare Snyder settlements, Crete settlements, KLM settlements, all these mega carrier settlements, their lease purchase program, everybody's making the same money. Everybody's netting the same money. Okay, it's just how they play with the numbers. Like with some companies, they might give you, you know, a higher cent per gallon discount. Some companies, they may give you lower cent discount, but the truck note is cheaper, or the truck note is higher, or it's all kind of little games that they play with these numbers, man. Yeah, Snyder. Yeah, the carrier board is something else. They have their own customized board, which pretty much. Good loads coming out of Florida. You pretty much got to have a reefer to get good loads coming out of Florida. That's just the bottom line with that. I haven't seen any good paying dry loads that come out of Florida. The guys that I know that pull good loads out of Florida, you know, pay, you know, above $2 a mile out of Florida is guys who got a reefer. You know, you pretty much got to have a reefer to pull out of Florida. Yeah, man, like this load I'm doing right now. This load paying $1,800 to go 400 miles. Load paying $1,800. And like I never seen, even during like bad weather, I don't think I ever seen a load going down in Florida at Snyder paying nothing close to that. I mean, like I remember doing the hurricane last year at Snyder, I think I seen a load going like 300 miles paying about $1,200 or something like that, $1,300. But no, loads don't pay like that at Snyder. On a rare occasion, you might see a load paying, but the thing is like you need consistency. You know, you just can't book one good load and say, "Oh, I booked a load at Snyder for $3,000," and that's the last you're gonna see of that load. You ain't gonna never see that load. You book that load once in a lifetime. I mean, if you can book these good paying loads every week, now we can talk. Now you can get moving. How long do you be waiting in the docks with these brokers? It just depends. It just depends. Since like I said before, man, Like, I'm pretty much happy with getting my own trailer. I couldn't be no more happier. I really don't see much of a difference. I mean, yeah, I got a live load on each side, but at the same time, I'm like, when I was at Snyder, to do a drop and hook, it takes you about an hour, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half to do a drop and hook in a lot of cases. So that's about the same amount of time I spend at a dock. So you probably be looking at anywhere from 30 minutes. I mean, I've been at docks like 10 minutes. Like soon as I bump the dock, boom, 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 I'm out and I got my bills. And like a lot of y'all, I do like a live feed. Y'all can go through some of my live feeds. And like soon as I bump a dock and I'm on a live feed with y'all, I'm pulling off. I'm doing a live feed, run my mouth a little bit, and I'm pulling off. So, I mean, you probably looking at a good, anywhere from 10, 15 minutes up to like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. And the loads that I book, I'll book the loads accordingly. So if I know if I'm going to do a live load on my delivery, I'll try to get to the customer the night before, so that way I don't have to move the truck at all. So if I get there the night before, I'm already the first guy in the dock. So I'm not using no time. So if I got an 8 o'clock appointment the next day, it's fine because I'll be unloaded in about an hour. I can start my logbook. See, you got to plan it and you get better control of your planning that way when you got your own trailer. When you're doing dropping hooks, you go to the customer to pick up and drop a load. You have no control of the situation because you don't know if that customer is going to have empties. I mean, it's like, say you get to the place, they don't have no empties. Now you got a bobtail around in the town. Now you got bobtail around town trying to get doggone empties. And that stuff, I mean, you can kind of eliminate it a little bit because with time, you start learning all the places in the area that's got empties. So if you get to a place and they don't have no empties, well, you know this area very well. And that's the great thing about with Snyder. It kind of eliminated a little bit. So you get to a place, they don't have no empties. Well, you know, you can go next door, down the street, 5 miles away, 10 miles away, and pick up the empty. Because I'm just telling you, if like I don't like a lot of you guys, you new to the system, you get to a place, they don't have no empties, you get on the Qualcomm and you put an exception for somebody to find your empty and send you to a place and get your empty. But what I hate, when you go in there and put an exception in to find an empty, they'll send you to another place that don't have an empty. Then another place that don't have no empty. You ain't doing nothing but burning hours, man. You ain't doing nothing but burning hours. So that don't happen all the time, but I say within a week, it happens at least one time in a week. So that stuff there, like, there are pros and cons to doing drop and hook with certain carriers. Not all carriers is good because certain carriers don't have a large enough trailer pool to support the freight that they're doing. So it's kind of, like having your own trailer. I don't even know what hunting for a trailer look like because this is my trailer. I keep it with me all the time. So when I go to these places to pick up a load, to deliver a load, I'm probably out of dock maybe an hour, 30 minutes. And that's about the same time a lot of places at Snyder you do a drop and hook. So a lot of places, you get there, you got to drop a hook. You sitting in a line for I don't know how long to pick up your doggone, to pick up your empty or drop off the load. You're doing a drop a hook, or even without a line, you're looking at 30, 45 minutes to an hour. And that's about the same amount of time it takes to get a live load in some cases. Yeah, I mean, when you booking loads, see that load there, Zilla, book a load, plastic bottles, paying $2,500 from Allentown, PA. See that load there, that's paying $2,500 to go to Florida. that's a good load if you're going home. See, that's a good load if you're going home. But if it's in the middle of the week, and you trying to get something out of Florida to keep going for the week, that's not a good load. But that load is good if you're going home. Like if you live in Florida, or if you live in southern Georgia, or if you live in Georgia, like you can run that load and deadhead home. That's an okay load because you're going home anyway. All you got to do is off-duty driving and go home. So you're not subject to DOT rules. So you can go home, book a load for when you come out. Then, it kind of, I mean, you're still moving the truck, but at the same time, it's kind of, that's when I book loads to dead areas, I usually book loads like that to go home. For me, that would be a go home load. But I wouldn't book that load any other time because that's eating in your mile. Because that's maybe $2.50 a mile. To go down to Florida, I would need about $3 a mile on that. I would need about 3,000 on that load. How much is the gross week? Zilla, how long you been on our true? That's not including empty hunting. What's good percentage farmer to allocate maintenance? What's a good percentage? You pretty much look at how many miles that you run and divide that by most guys use 10,000 miles a month, which is 2,500 miles a week. So you do 2,500 miles a week and you calculate how much it costs for you to run your truck, and you divide it by the miles that you do in a month. That's going to give you can pretty much break everything down by cost per mile. And then you can kind of convert it from cost per mile to percentage. So generally maintenance is right around 10%. Maintenance on the truck is right around 10 to 15%. So 15% is more on the high side, but like 6 and 7% is on the lower side if you got a newer truck. But you right around 10, 11%. You're looking at 200 a week, something like that. Since I got my trailer, I bumped my maintenance up to about $250 a week for maintenance. $75 a week for the trailer, and then I bumped it up a little bit just because the truck is getting older to accommodate for that expenditure that's gonna come in the future. Yeah, see? Yeah, you got it, man. That's a good way to do it. Yeah. Like I would say, like, for example, if you want to save 12,000 in a year, you can say $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month is $250 a week. So that's 12,000, 12 to 15,000 should cover you, in event that you have a issue with your truck, so, and then you divide that by 52 weeks. It's right around 200 to 300 a week, you know what I mean? For maintenance. I mean, some guys might have a different system or whatever. But yeah, man, this video is so long. Yeah, this video is so long, man. I'm about to go ahead and get these bills. I gotta go ahead and get these bills, man. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time.